Hi, welcome to class. We're going to be making this tonight out of one of the tin mailboxes you get at Target for $1 and a candlestick I got at the dollar store for $1. So it's basically a $2 project. So what I've done is I took the little flag off, and you're just going to pull it gently so you don't bend the tin. And you're going to want to sand, and I've already done stuff just to prep ahead of time. I actually covered the inside with some tissue paper and Mod Podge just to make it look pretty in there. You're going to want to sand it. If you want to paint it, you can paint it. You don't have to paint it. It's fine if you just sand it a little bit because we're going to be covering it with paper. And the paper I'm using tonight is, hold on, getting the name. I'm using London Market from Pink Paisley. And these are all the papers that comes in the That's my paper selection for tonight. And you're going to need Mod Podge and the 3-in-1 Beacon adhesive. I highly recommend this because we're going to be gluing metal to glass, and this works awesome. If you don't have this and you have the E6000 glue, that works too. What other, creams and browns are their colors, Christine? Oh, navy. I'm confused. I saw cream and brown and now I'm seeing navy. It's the London Market from Pink Paisley. That's the paper that I am using. And the actual sheet, hold on, let me grab one of the sheets that I'm using so I can get you the name, because sometimes you can just find the individual sheets. It is, let's see, Addington, and it looks like this. And it does have writing on it, so I'm going to show you a little trick, because obviously if you run the paper around like this, your other side's going to have the writing upside down. So what we're going to do is actually do the two sides. I cut out 2 pieces of paper. I measured and cut this out, and we're going to have them meet at the top just like this. And don't worry, because we're putting flowers on the top anyway. Nobody's going to see that. Okay? Oh, okay. Rustic. That's what you want? Rustic's awesome. Okay, so you gotta have your Mod Podge, and like I said, I covered the inside. So your first step is you're gonna wanna do something to the inside. You can either put the paper in there, or you could just do what I did, and I just found some really pretty tissue paper and line the inside, because when this is standing up, you will see part of the inside. So you want it to look nice, especially if you're going to put it out for display or give it to somebody as a gift that they're going to display. You got to make sure it's all finished up. I lost my paper towels. Where'd they go? Darn it. What did I do with them? Oh, well, I'll just use this towel. Oh, they're behind my computer. Huh. Sorry guys, I was looking for my paper towels. I'm just drying my brush. I just cleaned my brushes and I guess I didn't get the water out of my brush too well. So I'm gonna start, and the side with the hole for the flag is the side that it's going to be displayed out. So I'm going to use this paper right here because I love this bird cage, and a little bit of it will show up and it looks really pretty, so I like it. Don't forget to sand your tin before you use Mod Podge, because Mod Podge has the tendency to not grip onto anything that's got like a, I don't know, say like a glossy finish to it, and these tins had a glossy finish. And if you don't have a tin, then you don't have to worry about it, because you won't have to sand if it's paper mache or whatever. So I'm just going to line it up. Make sure it's straight. And then, oops, I just made it crooked. I was a little too hard on it. There we go. And you're going to want to press firmly, just because sometimes there's air bubbles in here. You just want to make sure they're all out. You don't have any little air pockets. Hi, Barb. Okay. So that side is on. So I'm going to get the other side put on. And then I'm going to put a coat of, why am I doing it this way? I don't know. Hey, it works. I'm going to put a coat over top of the paper of Mod Podge 2. Because you do want it to be sealed. Especially if it's being displayed. Positioning and pressing it down, and I have it so it overlaps the top a bit, so I gotta put a little bit more Mod Podge on here. Actually, I'm gonna put it on the paper. There. And my hands are a mess. And here again, you're going to want to press really good. Okay. Clean my hands off. Yes, I could have used that too. I have my Claudine Helmuth multi-medium that would work just as well. So now I'm just going to go over this with some Mod Podge just to put a nice little seal on it. Make sure you go over the edges on the paper, because that's actually what seals it on there. And I put Mod Podge on, whoops, I was out of camera, sorry guys. Kind of like you would paint a house. You kind of try to do some even strokes when you're putting the coating on the top. Oh, you know what? I need to move my camera just a wee bit here. Sorry guys, my hand's in the way. I forgot I had it positioned. So we're going to set this aside because it's got to dry. It doesn't take long, but I'm just going to set it aside, let that dry, and I'm actually going to work on putting the paper on the lids now. I'm just rinsing my brush out because I inked the paper and I don't want it to transfer onto my other paper here. Hi, Kristen. So I have one lid on just to remind me that this is the back, because once you put your paper over this, then you can't tell where the hole is for the flag. So I'm just gonna put some Mod Podge on here. And all I did to get the pattern for this is I just laid the lid down and traced it onto the paper and then just cut it out. And it is going to be a little bit big, and I'll show you what you're going to do. And I just had to move this closer so I can line it up. This is also part of the paper line. I'm trying to think, what is this paper called? Hang on. I'm using a different paper. It's the same paper line. This is, doesn't have a name. Oh, Mayfair. This is what the paper looks like. What's not working? I'm just going around the edges and pressing really, just to make sure it is sealed up really good. Now my edges are not too bad. I do have a few spots, and all I do, I get these at the dollar store. They also sell them like this, and it'll work too. I buy them all the time. This is what I use for everything, basically. Anything I have to file off or sand or whatever, I use these. And I'm just going to go around the edge and just sand. If there's any excess paper, it'll take it off. Sometimes, like right here, there's a whole bunch. Sometimes it takes a few times to get it off, but it does come off. Alright, so there. That's on there all nice. And the edges are good. And sometimes you can just pull, like once you get it sanded to a certain point, you can just pull off if there's little shavings I still see. Alright. So I'm just going to take my distressing pad. This has a little bit of vintage photo on it. Just going to go around that edge to finish it up. Oops. And now I'm going to do this one. And I like to keep it, like I said, the one on the back on, just because you can't tell the difference when you get all your paper on. And I'm just going to put some Mod Podge right on the paper. And stick this right on just like that. These are really super easy to cover and to trace to get the pattern. No, Bonnie will not be red Xing people tonight. Hi, Froggy. I'm just going around the edges really good, rubbing in there, and then I'm just going to take my file. Oops, kind of got that just a little bit. This is still kind of damp here, but we're going to be careful. If you go in a downward motion, it's the best way to get the paper to come, the excess paper that hangs over, to come off. Alright. Oh, I bought these tins at Valentine's Day at Target in the dollar bin. So keep an eye out for these. They're kind of cute to have on hand, especially if you want to make, you know, an interesting gift holder, or you need a special gift for somebody. Something creative. I'm just going to take, I have some of that paper from the inside hanging out. Okay, so then we're going to seal up our two lid parts. Oh, you don't have any stores there? Barb? Oh my goodness. Well, when I see them at Target again, I'll send you some. Okay. So now we're going to set our boxes covered. I am going to set it aside, and we're going to work on decorating the candlestick. Okay, so I'm just moving this up out of the way here. So for the candlestick, all I did, I found these, I just cut it apart. I found these doilies at a dollar store, and there was like 4 in a package, and this was a while ago. So I picked them up because I figured, oh, eventually I'll use them for something. Well, what do you know, I'm going to use them for this. I'm going to put the doily around the bottom of the candlestick. I cut it apart. And I'm using the 3-in-1, the Beacon 3-in-1 glue, my favorite glue in the world. I haven't found anything that this does not glue. I'm not kidding you. My husband even uses it if you know, his glue isn't working for something. He'll come up and get this. Sorry, I think my daughter had it because it is all glued up. Hang on a second, I gotta unclog my glue. There we go. Okay. Well, then we're just gonna run a bead of glue around the top edge of the doily. I still have a clog in here because it isn't coming out very well. I gotta really squeeze my bottle. If you're wondering what I'm doing, it's a two-handed squeeze job. Okay. So then I'm just gonna take it and just put it around. And I'm just gonna make sure that it's all lined up. I have it around like the bottom edge. And if you do this, if you use a doily for this, where you cut it, make sure you glue it really well, otherwise it'll unravel, unfortunately. That's the only bad thing about cutting doilies. Okay, so then on top of that, I always put a little piece of lace, and I have a few little selections. Then I'm going to see if it'll work. No, I don't like that. I think we're going to go with this one. I kind of wanted a crocheted looking one. Hang on. Let me see what I got here. Oh, I have this. We can use this. 4? Why are we taping 4? 4. Christine, you were censored. No, I'm just gonna stick. I don't even like that. Hang on, I gotta grab different lace. I gotta dig through my lace bin. I have some really cool crochet looking lace and I'm trying to find it. I just organized my lace bin and now I'm unorganizing it, guys. Isn't it always how it goes? I like this. Let's see if this will work. Who's trying to boot the bot? Yeah, I like that. Okay. We're going to go with this one. I gotta unclog my glue bottle. I don't know what is going on with this glue bottle. There we go. Hopefully that'll do it, because I need it to come out right. Yeah, there we go. I had a big old glue goober clogging it. Oops. Make sure I put the glue on the right side here. Yeah. And this one I'm just going to do just like a little pleat. You'll see in a minute. So I'm just, and you'll see in just a second, kind of covering right above. I got so much glue on here. Okay. Just above where I put that doily down is where I'm gluing this piece of lace down. And I'm kind of just a little bit pleating it as I go along, just so it kind of looks nice, as you can see. A little bit more, and I think we will have this. Okay, and I gotta turn this off. And I'm just gonna glue the seam. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just gluing the seam down. There we go. So that's what I have so far. It's just, I don't know, you're getting a glare. There we go. Okay. So, of course, we got to dress this up with some flowers. I mean, my goodness. We can't just have a half-naked candlestick here. Because you know me, I'm the flower girl. Got to have all the flowers put on. So I have these. These are fabric, and I just sprayed them with my Lindy's a little bit just to give them a little shimmer. Let's see. I was just fixing the petals. So I'm just going to play with the positioning. There's one on there. And we're just going to put 2 more bigger flowers on either side. Whoops. I want that. Let's see. I'm digging around here. I have all my flowers pre-done here. I just gotta find the size that I'm looking for. Oh, there's one. Gotta find one more. I think this will do it. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it's gonna kind of look like this, and then I have some smaller flowers that I'll tuck in just as filler. So I think that's what we're gonna do here. Got one of those. I'm looking I have to get 2 more out because we have a front and a back, and I like them to be the same. Where'd my other flower go? Oh, there it is. Alright. So, I gotta snip off my wires on the back of my flowers. And if you wondered how I got these flowers to look like this, kind of metallic-y and vintagey, I used the Folk Art metallic paint in champagne, and I painted that on the flowers first. Then I took my Lindy's sprays and I just did several different colors on them. I think I have the Mountain Lavender Golds, the Baby Blue Eyes Aqua, and the Cotton Candy Pink. And I used also a little bit of the Opal Sea Oats. Those are the colors that I used on it. And they all came out a little bit different, but I like different, so we're going to go with it. Alright. So let me, I actually want to put it right over where that seam was. And I gotta hold it for a second because I'm gluing right onto the lace, and it sometimes doesn't grab a hold right away. And then I gotta fluff my flower back up. And before I go any further, I also have, I cut these out on my Cricut. They're just leaves, like a viney leaf, and I embossed them, so I'm going to add these. And I know this is really hard for you guys to see this. Maybe if I do this, well, then I can't see what I'm doing. Darn it. Well, I'll just have to show you step by step as I do this. I actually want this down just a wee bit more. There we go. That works for me. And I'm just going to glue these strategically. I don't want to glue the leaves down, but I kind of don't want them sticking out all the way off of the glass. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of gluing strategically. There it goes. Alright. So that's what I have so far. I have the little leaf stem, and I have one of the flowers on. So I think we need just a tad more. I'm going to cut my leaf, one of them apart here, because I need to add a little leaf down, you know, going down a little bit off of the candlestick. I'm just going to cut it down, and we're just going to tuck it right in over here, just like that. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. You always want to work in odd numbers when you're doing stuff like this, so in groups of 3 or whatever. So now I'm just going to stick these flowers on. And I get my flowers, and I know I said this last week when I was working with flowers, from Wild Orchid Crafts. I love their mulberry flowers. They hold up really well, especially if you miss them and stuff. Okay. So I'm just kind of trying to get this tucked in. So that's what I have so far. Oops. Now I'm just got to add some little flowers, and I put all my little flowers in a bin here. I'm going to add some of these ribbon roses, and let's see, maybe, I don't know, we'll test them out. I don't know which roses I want to add yet. I have all different colors to choose from. So we'll grab a couple out, see what I like. And I'm going to grab a blue satin flower out. I also have these little mini, oh my gosh, they're so tiny. They're little tiny mini, what do you call them, sheer roses. And I am just going to glue a few of these, and I'll show you. I'm going to glue a few right up in here, and one probably right over here, to look like roses will be blooming off of it, off the leaves. So I'm going to do that really quick. Let's have the other one. Here it is. I'm just holding it down for a few seconds. So there. It kind of looks like there's roses blooming. Hi, Dar. Okay, so let's get back to picking. I gotta add some, I think I do like the pink, the rose colored ones. So I'm gonna go with these rose colored. Okay. And I'm just going to tuck him right in there. This one doesn't want to cooperate. Here we go. So that's what I have so far. You can see where I tucked in the little roses there. And you can do the back side if you would like, or you can just leave it so it's the front. You know, you're just going to see the front. I might trail a few more flowers around just so it looks pretty. Might add a few, add these. Oops, wrong one. I'm going to add a few more flowers and then I'm going to say we're done. So I don't want to do overkill. I know you guys, I'll turn it around just a second so you can see what I just added. It's hard to work on a candlestick so you guys can see what I'm doing because it's so tall. So I just added little small flowers on the end over here. You can see. So I think that should be good. I'm just going to put my other flowers back in their little bin so they are not all over, and clean up my little mess here. And the tin, it should be dry. Yep, it's dry. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do the flag really quick. Let me move this stuff out of my way here. So for the flag, like I said, I kind of printed off a whole bunch of the images that I bought a while back off of Etsy. And like I said, anybody that would like to know where I purchased them, just send me a message on Facebook or an email and I will tell you where. I have to look in my email. So I'm just cutting this word Paris out of here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to stick it right on the flag, but I got to make sure that it is. There's the hole. I have to, hang on. I got to poke my hole so I know where I'm sticking this. Okay. So I'm just going to trim this down just a wee bit. I mean, there's like a set spot in here, but I'm never perfect on that stuff. I just get it as close as possible. That's all. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to ink this up just a wee bit. And we're going to get out the trusty old Mod Podge. Gotta close up my 3-in-1 so it doesn't get dried out. Okay. So getting out the Mod Podge, and I need a little brush for this one. I don't want to use a big brush. Where did my little brush go? Oh, there you are. Sorry, I'm like all over. Okay. I just realized something. I hope I didn't give you guys like a boob shot. When I just reached over for that paintbrush. Okay, and I'm just lining it up. And then I'm just going to put a coat right over top of it. Just to keep it sealed. That's all. And I painted my flag, it was just with craft paint. It was like a really bright pink, and I didn't want a bright pink. So then we gotta do the other side. Just trying to dry the Mod Podge a bit. Oh, bye, Christine. So that's what my little, you can hold it up. There, my little Paris. For the other side, I just kind of cut out this is like a postage stamp, and I'm just going to set it in there like that. Of course, I have to ink it. And you're not really going to see this. You're probably going to see like a little bit of it, so you do want to add like some kind of an image or something on the other side. And make sure you seal it up. So I have my flag done, and I'm going to set it over here and let it dry. And I like to put an image on the back like I did on this one. I actually cut out the Eiffel Tower and just glued it on the back. So that is what I'm going to do real quick. Is I use this image right here. I think this one I got off of the Graphics Fairy or one of those free, you know, they always have like a few free images that you can download. There's another one, I can't think of her name. She also does free vintage graphics and stuff. Not all vintage, but most of them are. If you guys are on Pinterest, if you type in Eiffel Tower or Paris images, or clip art, Paris clip art, they'll come up. So I'm not getting too close to it, but getting close. See? Have my image all cut out. And I'm just going to ink it up a bit. Kind of give it that vintage look. And we're just going to decoupage that right on here. And then I'm just going to seal it off. And we can let this dry just a few minutes. If you do light coats, it doesn't take long for it to dry. You can just kind of set it aside and let it dry for a minute. So while we're waiting for that to dry, I have some little envelopes that I cut out. I have it was one of these was a Colossal. I don't know if you guys remember those. I had that and this one, and then this one my friend Doreen sent me. And all I did was seal them, because these are going to be the love letters, and we're going to just kind of package these little guys up in a little bundle just like this. So I'm going to grab some pretty little thin lace. I actually kind of like this blue. It gives a nice contrast. It's like a baby blue. So we're just going to, and then you wrap it around the front and then crisscross it in the back. Oh no, my lace ain't long. It's not long enough. I gotta find a longer piece. Hang on a second. That was just not quite long enough for me to do that. That's okay, I'll find something. Something. I wanted something in a little bit of a color, but I thought I found a nice thin blue. That might be too dark. And probably not long enough either. Well, I guess it's not too bad. Let's see if it's long enough though. Nope, not going to be able to tie a bow. You gotta find something that you can tie a bow. I thought I had a long enough piece, apparently not. So, let me dig around in my bin. I guess we're going to have to go with maybe some white or something here, because I just don't seem to have. I used to have a whole bunch of that little blue. Oh, see. Aha! Found some more. Save the day. Bye, Froggy. I hope you feel better. And I'm just going to tie a pretty little bow right on the top here. I'm going to get them in position so I can tighten this up a bit. And that bow's way too big. When you're making bows, I'm sure you all know, you kind of have to fuss with them sometimes because they just don't want to cooperate. And this one wants to turn this way. Silly thing. There we go. I just want it to be a cute little pretty bow. Come on, cooperate. There we go. Just snip these off. This is our little packet of love letters. That are going to be on display there. And I did ahead of time make up a little bouquet, which is going to be from, going to sit with our love letters in our mailbox. And all I did is I have a big rose and then some little rose buds. These are actually what they call the wax flowers, and they're old vintage ones that somebody sent them to me, one of my friends, and they're pretty cool. And I have 2 of these looped pearl strands back here and a leaf, and that's going to make our bouquet. And all I need to do is wrap some lace around here, around the stems of it, just to kind of make it look a little pretty. I'm going to grab a little bit of lace here. Well, actually a whole lot of lace. Yeesh. A little long. I'm going to use this crocheted lace. And I'm going to start at the top up here, and once I get it nice and wrapped up and looking pretty, I'm just gonna cut it off, and then I'm gonna use the E6000. You're gonna put real ones in yours. That would be cute too. That would be cute. Turn the little mailbox into a little planter with for some flowers. Of course, that would be, you'd have to, like, I would think, line it with plastic, because the tin might rust, especially if you gotta water the flowers. Or you could buy those little what do they call them, the little picks or whatever that you can put water in. So right now I'm just going to cut off a piece of this lace, just enough so I can tie a pretty looking knot. And I'm just going to trim off. I got a lot of excess, so I don't want that much. I just want a little bit. So there we go. We got our bouquet with the lace on it and our little love letters. See, that's pretty much dry. Okay. So now we are going to stick this on our base, our little mailbox on the candlestick. I'm using the E6000 glue, or the E6000. No, I'm not. I'm using the 3-in-1. The Beacon 3-in-1 works really well. Or you can use the E6000 if you don't have this. And just so you know, Fabri-Tac and 3-in-1 are two different things, so don't try using Fabri-Tac. I haven't used it on glass and metal. And you're going to want a good amount of glue on there. And then you're just going to make sure that you have your front, or side, I should say, lined up. And then I get it on there, and then you're just going to turn it upside down and make sure that it is centered. Front to back and side to side, and just hold it on there for a few minutes, and it'll glue. This stuff glue dry. The 3-in-1 dries pretty quickly. It's still kind of moving a little bit. So I wouldn't touch it until like you can't move it. So then for the top, I have some lace applique that's going to go up here like this, and then I have this little one. It actually is from the same wedding dress, but I cut them apart so I can play with them and get them on there just right. I actually want this one. So we're gonna stick the lace applique on. Let me get this lace out of my way. And I just use the beacon. Or Fabri-Tac. Don't glue your fingers like I just did. Oops. Let me move this off to the side just a wee bit. And you're just going to get, a good amount of glue on. I just kind of touch it in areas. And then position it. If you want your front lid to close that we're going to put on, make sure that, oops, I just moved it. Make sure you're not over this edge here. And I'm just going to put on this other one. I may cut away these little smaller flowers. Maybe 3. Yeah, I'm going to cut those little smaller flowers away. I can use them on another project. These little flowers were just a little too much for on here. There we go. And then we're going to stick some flowers up here, because by golly, we got to have some flowers. So I usually start out with the biggest one, and this one happens to be a fabric. It was an old candle ring that I had, and I took the flowers off. So it has the little plastic end, which I'm just going to, where my scissors go, snip that little end off, and I'm going to glue him down. Hey, what's going on here? and this one I have pointed towards, a little bit towards the back. And I'm going to grab some of my other flowers here. I actually think I want to use this pink one. Oops. And I'm putting these two back to back. You guys can actually see what I'm doing now because I'm at the top. And I have some more of my little leaf things that I'm going to stick in here. And let me grab another one. These ones I cut apart. I cut them apart all the time. Alright, and then grab one more here. And don't worry, we're going to be filling this in. I just always like to put the leaves down first, and then I can build around them. So that's kind of what it looks like so far. And like I said, we're going to build around them, so don't worry. We'll be filling it in. Oh, okay, bye Denise. I don't seem to look up quite often, apparently. Let me cut apart. Oh yeah, I think I might use this big one right over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just kind of fill in with some smaller flowers. So I have some of these that I painted up. Oops, I don't want to do that. Yeesh, almost used my scissors to snip the wire off the back of this. And I'm just tucking roses in. See, that's what I just did over here. I tucked that little rose right in there. Whoops. Yeah. Bye, Sharon. Thank you for coming. So I'm going to get another one. And I'm just going to tuck this one in over at the same on the other side. Oops. So then I'm going to dig around for my little flowers, get them out. because we need some little flowers up here. Oops. And there's some little flower. I need to put some maybe, let's see. Okay, so I have some little flowers that I'm going to tuck in the little nooks and crannies. Show you that in just 1 second. This project's kind of hard to do on camera because of how tall it is. Okay. So I just tucked in these two flowers right there. I'll lift it up so you guys can see. Oops, it's going in and out again. And I have some of these little tiny mulberry roses that I'm just gonna fill in spots. Blue string on my finger. This one just doesn't want to position. There we go. And I need something right in the front here. Let's see. Let's see what I have. I thought I had... Yeah, that's too big. I think I'm going to go with a little white rose. Gotta add a little bit of white in there, because we have lace and stuff going on. So I just added a little white one right here. Now I'm going to kind of fill in the back here. And I have, let's see, here's that other smaller rose. I thought I had two of these. I got two bigger ones, so I don't think that's going to work. Well, we'll just have to make do. I'm going to put some green back here. I'm going to use these little green ribbon roses. Well, they're not green. They're like a turquoisey blue color. And I gotta grab this other one. If you use these ribbon roses that are on their stems, don't cut them too close, otherwise they'll unravel. Okay. And let's see. I think I'm going to put I can always get another one of these roses out of my bin. I'm going to go with this one. We're almost done with the top, guys. And then I have some of these bead sprays. Oops, drop that one. And I'm just going to cut a few apart. And we're going to attach a few bead sprays at the top, and then we're going to be done with the top. And I'm just going to find a spot to tuck them. So I usually put one in the back on this side and then one in the front on this side. It kind of makes it look really pretty. Okay. So there's my top. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to attach your door onto here, because we're just going to have it hang open like this. So what I'm going to do is grab some ribbon here. Ooh. And we're just going to cut like maybe inch and a half strips. For five of them should be good. Okay. And how we're going to do this is I'm going to put a bead of glue right on this edge here. And I'm using the Beacon. If you have E6000, it works the same. And you're just going to line it up. Oops. And it'd be nice if I didn't bump it. And attach it. Don't worry, that's not the only thing that's going to be holding this, because this lid won't stay up. So you're going to put some glue on one end of the ribbon and then on the other end of the ribbon. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to see if I can do this backwards so you guys can see what I'm doing. You're going to put one end of the glue side inside, and then you're going to get your lid where you want it, and you are going to put it on your lid, just like that. I don't know if you saw what I just did. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta move this forward just a wee bit. Alright. So then you gotta do the other side. Put a glue on one end. Put the glue on the other end. And let me get this side. So I just put the glue, I put the piece of ribbon on the lid part, and now I'm going to put it in. Problem is my fingers are all gluey, so the glue is sticking. So I got 2 of those on, and they're on either side. And then you're going to put some strips in the middle here, like that. Make sure you have your lid. I kind of have it partially open, and you know what works? Stick a craft paint bottle underneath while you're working. And just stick your strips in. And you're going to want to let this dry before you put any of your goodies inside. But I can do it while it is on. You are going to want to wait like overnight for all these to dry really, really well before you put your goodies in. So what I have, this was another image. I'm going to use this again. It's actually my favorite image. I'm getting a glare. I have this, and I have a postcard, and it's pretty much the same thing I did. So we're going to actually, what I did is I stuffed, hang on, I gotta find my tissue paper. I'm over here. I stuffed some tissue paper inside, all the way in the back. I just kind of ripped off a sheet of tissue paper, okay, and you're just going to crinkle it up, and stick it inside in the back. Now, you're going to want to find some, like, wide lace, like this, and just a strip, this is probably, what, 12 inches about, and all you're going to do, here, let me scoot this up just a wee bit, because you can still see what I'm doing. All I'm going to do is just tuck the ends in, like this, and then you're just going to bunch it up on the one end, stick it in your mailbox. You know, you're going to want to play with it because you don't really want it like overwhelmingly hanging out of your mailbox. So I just sit here and I play till I get it the way I want it. And then you're going to take your bouquet and just place it. You can glue this stuff down if you want. I I didn't want to glue mine down. And you're just going to strategically place your little items here. Let me move this back so you guys can see what I'm... Whoops, that's too far. Just kind of strategically place your items in the mailbox. Make sure the lace is kind of sticking out over the edge just a wee bit. And we're just going to place that in. And my last but not least are my the little love letters. And that's pretty much what you have, and there's your display. Yeah, everyone is disappearing. They're dropping like flies. That's okay, I'm recording, so you guys can see. And if you're not going to paint your tin around this edge, all I did with this one, and I'm going to show you really super quick here. Let me pull this one over, is I took a little bit of the gold Rub and Buff and rubbed it along the edge here, and then I used the patina Rub and Buff, and I'm talking, you don't use a lot of this. It's like very minute, small amount, and you rub that on and it makes it look really old. Okay, thank you. Yeah, everybody was probably busy doing their own thing, or, you know, listening and or watching intensely. So I'm going to show you, I have time actually, so let me move this over here. I'm going to take all this stuff out, okay, and I'm just going to show you the Rub and Buff. I think I will show it to you on the back part over here. Okay, I gotta keep that bottle under there. So you're just gonna get, what I do is I actually squeeze it out onto my work surface and get enough on my finger, because you don't want to like go crazy with it. You just want kind of a touch of gold. Just moving my applique out of the way here. Kind of heavy up there. You're not supposed to use your fingers with Rub and Buff. So, yeah. I'm doing it anyway. So don't follow what I do. There's a warning label right on the package. Do not come in contact with skin. But I like to live on the edge. Okay, well, let me wipe this up because I'm going to show you the patina and what I do with the patina. You want to, when you're using Rub and Buff, you want to do it on a surface like that. I have a piece of glass on here. You want to do it on something that you know it's going to wipe off, because this stuff doesn't come off. It's actually used for picture frames, to put like a decorative edge on. Okay, so I have the patina. And I'm going to squirt this stuff right on there. And I'm going to grab a little itty bitty paintbrush. And I'm talking itty bitty. To Kristen. You guys are funny. This is going on my dining room table. I have a whole Paris theme in my dining room. So, okay. When you paint it on, you're going to want to take your finger and give it a little bit of a rub. And I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm getting over there. So I put a little bit on and I'm rubbing. Put a little bit on. You do need to rub it. Hence the name Rub and Buff, I guess. Don't get too heavy with it though, because otherwise your whole thing will be green. Or a patina color, I should say. Not green, but... So, I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see the green? Let me see. I'm trying to do it backwards. I'm horrible at backwards, guys. You can see it now, I think. I think I darkened it up. Can you guys see that? You see like a tinge of like a blue-green color? Mixed in with the gold. That's what you want. You don't want it real heavy. Just really, really light. And once you get this on, it is permanent. You're not getting it off. Just want to make that a point, because Rub and Buff, once it dries, is permanent. It's very hard to get off. You're gonna have to wait, Kristen. That's my neighbor already claimed this. She wants to buy it off me. She thinks it's so cute. So there's our little project. And I have to, oh, I forgot to put on the, we gotta put the flag on. Silly me. Where's my, ay, ay, ay. I can't believe I almost forgot the flag. So I ripped the flag off, and we're just going to use a regular long ended brad, and we are going to stick this sucker right back on. I'm putting a little bit of the beacon adhesive on this. It just helps it hold it. Sliding my brad through, sticking it through the hole, and then we're just closing that off and make sure it's in the right position. And of course we have to have flowers on the bottom of our little flag. Oh, let me tilt this up. Oh, I don't know if I should tilt it up or down because I'm having such a hard time for you guys to see what I'm doing. Because it's like a tall project. I should have probably moved the camera. So I'm going to grab... I have one of these little pink flowers. And then I have some of these little mulberry roses that I'm going to use. Need one more. Actually, I think I like... here we go. And I need a feather. Gotta get a feather. Just looking for a pretty feather, guys. Found a wimpy feather. I don't want a wimpy feather. This'll work. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue my feather. Just like that. So I have my little feather on there. I gotta position it just a wee bit. I don't want it to cover up the parrot's word, but okay. And then we just need our little flower. And I have to turn it around for this, guys. And just stick a little rose there, and there we go. We are all done. There is my so that is it. We are done, and I'm done early too, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Ouch. Thank you. I'm going to finish putting the gold on the other side, but later. So nobody has any questions? Well, then I guess that's it. Next week's show, I'm actually going to alter this little vintage purse that I have. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but we're going to do it. I'm trying to decorate my dining room, can you tell? It's got all like vintage, it's got my big huge dress form and everything in it, so I'm doing a lot of Paris inspired crafty projects. Okay, well, thank you all for coming. And I'll see you all next week. Oh, thank you, Artie. Thank you all for coming, too. I'm going to stop recording.